So I get asked this question a lot. What is wellness coaching? What is coaching? And how is it different from counseling? And how do you handle it? So I'll be diving into that a bit today. I'm going to speak today based on what I do. And so you may hear different things from different coaches and different counselors. But for me, this is what wellness coaching is. So first, we listen to and look at what is the problem. So I say, what brings you in today? Why have you decided to start coming to see me? And then from there, I listen to basically the symptoms. What are you dealing with? And what are the different factors at play. So things I'm listening for are basically common threads or the most persistent thread that we can dive into. So for some that may be relationships, for some that may be nutrition or fitness, for some it may be mental health and like their mindset and getting to a healthier mental state before they can dive into the physical health. So I would say that's what coaching looks like for me. It's looking at the problem, looking at the symptoms, and then creating a plan and a strategy based on what your needs are at that time. So a plan or, I guess, yeah. So CBT, so cognitive behavioral therapy, is very common for counseling practices, and that's basically the approach that I'm taking with my coaching as well. Cognitive is the mind, so addressing the mindset, making sure that your mind is in a healthy place, addressing any limiting beliefs or hang-ups that seem to keep constantly showing up for you and holding you back from reaching the goals that you want to reach in life. And then creating a behavior change that can help you to create that sustained change over time. Basically, my job is to work myself out of the job and help you to be as self-sufficient as possible, help you to feel empowered to make those decisions for yourself. Be a sounding board also to what you need to hear reflected back to you. So sometimes it's so funny. A lot of us were like, oh my goodness, I just talked for like 10 minutes and I don't even know if I made any sense. I don't know if you could really like even follow what I was saying. The answer is yes. I can follow what you're saying. That's what I'm listening for, is what is the basic summary of what you've talked about for the last 10 minutes and what are you really saying beneath what you're saying. So that can really help us to figure out the root cause and the root need that you have, and dive into it from there. So again, looking at the cognitive problem, the issue that's at play or the issues that are at play, choosing a couple or most primarily just one that we want to dive the deepest into first and take care of that one, and then we can move on to other ones, or take care of them week by week, addressing what really needs to be addressed for that week. So for instance, sometimes people will start coaching with me and they're, 1 week they're talking about relationships, and then the next week they're talking about their nutrition, and the next week they're talking about their environment, how to create a healthier environment. And so we're addressing different topics and we're checking in with those different topics, but sometimes there are going to be more pressing factors at play. So I just had a big blow up with my husband, and I need to process that so that I can feel more balanced in that this week. And that's the most pressing need. Nutrition takes a backseat for a minute. We're doing okay with that. We're still being consistent with that. And maybe we have a sub goal or a second goal for something like that sort of wellness. But our main focus for that week is really addressing what's bothering you, what's hanging up in your head, and what's leading to maybe some negative thoughts or negative beliefs about yourself. And really, we look at breaking the cycle, because we can, in our own minds, we get caught in the same cycles over and over again. And so reflecting it back to a coach can help us make sense of it and help us create a plan and a strategy of attack. How are we going to address it? and how can we grow past it. So with all of the information that I know from coaching, from counseling, from health and fitness and nutrition, from being a minimalist and traveling all over the country for a couple of months, just me and my husband and just what we had in our car, I take all of that information that I've learned from these different experiences, the books I've read over the last 20 some years of my life, where I've always pretty much been a mentor and a teacher, and I take all of that into this coaching and helping you to be the best and the strongest version of yourself. As that's really like a catchphrase now, be the best version of yourself. And that's what we're doing, is trying to help you to become a little bit stronger each day. We also look at, in counseling, they call it a strengths-based approach. So I definitely take a strengths-based approach. So what that means is that I look at and we talk about, what are your strengths? What are the things that you have done well in the past? Where are the times where you have been successful? You've been hearing it in different videos, but you probably didn't realize that that's what it was. That's a strengths-based approach of using the strengths that you have to build up these areas where you feel weaker. So maybe you are a badass CEO, you are a badass therapist, and you're really good at taking care of other people. But you kind of suck at taking care of yourself. That's okay. We all are sometimes, and I was definitely in that place. So definitely no discouragement there, but you can be really good at something and take what you learned from those situations. What was it that really made you a badass therapist? What was it that made you a badass CEO? And how can we, or a badass mom, how can we take those strengths that got you to that position, and now can we apply them to your fitness and nutrition? So maybe it was that you read a book for 30 minutes a day and that helped you to grow your business, or you read all the mom books that were out there, and you got really excited about that, and you talked to all these different moms and you joined different mom groups, and that's something that you can also apply to what you're now doing with your physical health. So looking at those kind of things and how we can apply them to the situation. I know I use nutrition and fitness a lot, but it also applies to different mindset things. So maybe you feel like you're really confident at work, but you're not confident in your relationship with your husband. What helped you to be so confident with yourself at work? What is it about that environment? What is about you? What happens to you when you go to work? What's at play there? What are the factors there? And we look at those strengths and then we apply it to your intimate relationships. So yeah, I think that's a bit of what it looks like for me when it comes to counseling and coaching, and kind of the distinction between the two. I would say I use a lot of counseling approaches, even a lot of positive psychology sorts of things as well. Yeah, so we deal with mental health concerns. We deal with depression and anxiety, stress, overwhelm, anger issues, even things that I learned in family and relationship counseling classes. So I still very much apply all of that to what I'm now seeing in coaching with you guys. I just feel like coaching allows me to be a lot more flexible and a lot more fluid than I was finding within the counseling demographic. And there's definitely nothing against the counseling field or anything like that, but I just felt like coaching allowed me to be more tangible and allowed me to help people with fitness and nutrition and different aspects of wellness, whereas counseling seems to be more based on, let's sit here and talk about it for an hour, help you to process it, and only deal with those cognitions, if that makes sense. And there are still goals, but I know people who go to counseling for 20, 30 years, and they just, counseling can be a really good place to check in. It's a very confidential environment, and so is coaching as well. So I definitely don't want to, make you think that it's not, but counseling has a lot of restrictions and regulations and specific ways that you can do things, and And I just didn't find that that was conducive to the way that I wanted to be working with people. And so that's why I say that I'm a wellness coach. That's why I look at holistic wellness and address each of those areas instead of just the counseling field. So I hope that helps to clarify it, and I definitely look forward to addressing any questions that you have about that. You can leave any questions or concerns in the, well, if you have questions, maybe put them in the comment section, because then I can address them for anybody who may be watching this video later. But if you have larger questions or you have concerns, definitely shoot me an email to make sure that I definitely get that and am able to address it in a more private platform. So, so my email address is in the description below. So you're also welcome to check out my different social media platforms and my different videos to help you to get a better idea of what it looks like for me. Anything that I talk about in any of my videos, this is all through the coaching lens of how I coach people. So I hope it's insightful in helping to describe it a bit more, but that is basically the root of what I get into. Oh, I also do a lot of educational classes as well. And so in those courses, you can definitely do classes and stuff within the counseling field as well. But yeah, I found that it was more fluid, and I had more flexibility to add in some different aspects that I wanted to bring in through coaching. So yeah, there are definitely classes as well. I guess it's kind of like a side note, but yeah, I hope that helps, and definitely hit the subscribe button if you want to be notified when new episodes arrive every Thursday, and hit the like video if this is something that really resonated with you and applied to you, because then I'll know to make more videos related to it. So yeah, love you guys, and as always, never lose sight of yourself in the service of others, and I'll see you next time.